The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Coffman Outdoors and The Porch in Wildwood.
And we are thrilled to have him along with us, by the way. Good morning. Welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show on this Thursday. I'm your host and thrilled to have you along with us. We have a really fun show. In fact, I wanted to be the outdoorsy, active Monica for you today. I'm telling you what, this is like a playground. If you all haven't been to Coffman Outdoors, we are going to shine the spotlight on them today. Can't wait to sit down with Mark Coffman and have you see everything that's been waiting there for you that you had no idea. You might see a little goofiness in me. Who knows? And then there's more to come. I'm going to ask you this. Did you see the reel? If not, check it out. It's probably my favorite that we shot that day. We've got a lot of those coming up for you just to make you laugh and just for you all to go, yep, that's our Monica. For those that are new to the show, eventually I hope you say that and I hope you stick around for a show that's all about hope and positivity, waking you up with a little energy in the morning. By the way, we haven't said this in a while. Do you wake up still with the intention for the day? Do you wake up and feel a little groggy and you're looking for energy and positivity? That's what we provide here for you. Also, I wake up and I find a word of the day. My day today started with the prayer, and my word of the day is empower. So what about you? Tell me, what's your word of the day? And then if you haven't been practicing this, we're all about intentional words in the morning and then gratitude in the evening. And so, as I mentioned, today is my day to say, I want to empower you. Also, look I've got it on my chest. Just be kind. That's what we say at the end of every show as well. Spreading the love of kindness and also getting you up to date on things that we think you need to know about. So we are based in St. Louis, Missouri, Southern Illinois, just adjacent to us, and we want to make sure that you always are weather aware. So rocking and rolling overnight. For me, it was probably about 4:30 a.m. or so. My husband gets up at about 4 o'clock. But unbelievable, crazy thunder and lightning, and then we're talking about some damage. So I'm asking all of you, did you have any power outages? Have you even stepped outside to see if you have debris? It was crazy overnight. And then today, we're expecting more of the weather that we've seen over the last few days with regards to the temperature. A high of 96 degrees, but the heat index of 107. We have a 20% chance of rain, hopefully not like what we saw early this morning, but hot, as you can see over the next several days, all the way through Sunday. Friday, the high is 98, and we're just going to continue to go up. We won't break this weather pattern until we get to Monday. The heat index, though, folks, for the next 4 days is right around 107, 106. So 98 for the actual temperature on Friday. Saturday, 99. Sunday, 98. And those lows only get to the upper 70s or 80 for the next 4 days. Finally, we break that crazy weather pattern, and we get into Monday with a slight chance, 30% chance of rain and a high of 87. Tuesday, 88 for the high. We get to midweek, it'll be 90, and then it kind of stays there. 91 Thursday, 91 on Friday, and on Saturday, 90 degrees. Fortunately, the Cardinals are not in town. They're in Chicago playing the Cubbies, but St. Louis City SC will be back in action, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, back home to Energizer Park. We did have some storms that left behind damage in O'Fallon, Missouri. Thousands without power in the St. Louis area and in our surrounding area. We want to know from you if you have been impacted. Just after 7 o'clock last night, the highest number of outages was in St. Charles County. I was driving back at about 5:15, and I am telling you what, the clouds that I saw were crazy. I'm going to show you those in just a second. O'Fallon, Missouri, police reported down limbs, power lines on the north side of O'Fallon. By 10 o'clock in the evening, the number of outages in St. Charles County dropped to just about 3,500. Ameren on the scene where snapped power poles, vehicles, into the vehicles and into the home. Residents describing the storm as powerful and quick. Again, cleaning up debris in that area. St. Francis County, Ameren reported about 1,500 outages. Jefferson County reporting 1,600. Those outage numbers were as of 10 o'clock last night. And so that is my fear, that maybe some of you are dealing with the exact same thing today. So we always want to check on our community. Do you need any assistance? Do you need any help cleaning up? Just put it in the comment section. And we know that we've got a very kind community, and they will be out there to help you. So as I mentioned, I love to be real. I'm just going to show you this. This is what I was experiencing. I'll turn the volume down. I was doing a little meteorology last night. This was as I was leaving Defiance from our Wet Your Whistle. Okay, let me see if I can pull this away here for you. Look at these clouds. That's what was happening as I was driving up 94, getting ready to head towards Highway 6440 in that O'Fallon, Missouri area. Fortunately, I was out of the area by, like I said, about 5:15, 5:30 heading down. So looking to the east at that point and then showing you more towards the west, the north, and the northwest. The clouds were so ominous looking and so very low as well. In fact, we should show this to Beckett, or if his dad or mom are watching, he can tell us what kind of clouds are those. So near the ground is what it felt like. Did you all deal with that, by the way? Drop a comment in and tell me. I'm hoping a lot of you aren't without power today, but that's what I'm a little afraid of. Good morning, Julie. Rose, thank you for asking. Tessa is good now, right? She feels that it's moved out of our area, but up until about 15 minutes ago, she was still in the closet, as you all can imagine. I'm sure you all have the same thing happening. Maybe your dogs jumped in bed with you. Maybe they were in the closet. Maybe they're a little scared. We just did a show in the closet just last week, right? And so she just came out and she just ate, and now she's, I think, wandering around upstairs. But yes, we're talking about, those are the big stories right now. There are many people that are without power, unfortunately, and I'm afraid that a lot of our early morning risers are dealing with that today. I was a little afraid that we weren't going to be able to come together because I thought we might have a power outage or maybe a problem with our connection. And so far, so good, right? The good Lord above said, I'm going to let you do this. I'm going to let you empower and entertain. So yeah, crazy looking skies for sure. Last night, into that early afternoon. So we were wrapping up our Wet Your Whistle show, which you haven't seen. Please do me a favor, go back and watch. It was a really good one. We talked about California, a lot of vineyards in California that are burning their vineyards. And it is not because of disease. It is not because of drought. It is because of the change in the industry. It was a really great show. It's probably one of my favorites that I've done, not as much as some crazy laughter we've done in the past, but the education of it, is that trickling down into Missouri and other states? Chuck from Defiance Ridge said, yes, he thinks it probably is hitting Missouri already. But again, burning vineyards because they don't have people buying from them, doing a contract to want to buy the grapes. And so if they don't have those contracts, they're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. It really is. I told him, I'm like, it's got to hurt your heart. And he said, absolutely. So that was one of the stories in the news, national news, within the last few days. And again, we localized it by talking with our dear friend Chuck of how it is impacting our area. If you're just tuning in, good morning to you. Just getting started. And by the way, thank you to all of our sponsors, Dr. James Clarkson from Heritage Hand Surgery, R.A. Ginner Plumbing, and I can't wait to tell you more about them. The E-Step Law Firm, we will be doing a really cool show from his business next Thursday. The Porch in Wildwood, and Jan Coffman, I know, is going to be so proud to see this feature on her husband, Mark, today. Mark owns Coffman Outdoors, and we're going to shine that spotlight. Children's Legal Nurse Consulting, who will be on with us at the end of the month. JG Optimal Wellness, back on with us on Monday. Menopause talk, spas, and more. And you know I'm enjoying that hot tub, by the way. Defiance Ridge Vineyards, Dot Fleshman Realty, Garden View Care Centers. We have a really cool feature with them at the end of the month on their O'Fallon, Missouri location. Exist Stretch. Have you gotten that free stretch yet? I hope so. And Fenton Family Dentistry. Your business, your name can be right there along with them. You can hear us talking about how incredible you are. So reach out to me and let me know if you know of a business. By the way, we haven't said that in a while. I give you $100 if someone does become a sponsor or books us for our mobile Monicas, which is when we take the show on the road and we go either live or recorded from their business. Okay, so let me know. Just shoot me a meal. Shoot me a meal. Obviously, I'm hungry. Shoot me an email at info@therealmonicaadams.com and use that email address, by the way. Besides sponsorship, also if you have ideas for guests that you would like for us to have on when we are in the studio. Shoot me a meal. A Freudian slip, right? When you're a little hungry. Okay, other things that are going on in the news. A Missouri couple is reviewing every winery in the state and creating a Golden Cork Award. So, of course, we were just talking about our dear friends over at Defiance which we love and ask for you to support. But this couple visited more than 130 wineries across Missouri before they launched their social media page, Missouri Wine Couple. And I believe they comment on my page a lot saying, yes, we love this one, we love that one. This Missouri couple set out to visit every winery in the state, and they had turned a hobby into a growing social media following, creating their own award to recognize their favorites. The couple's name's Scott and Tanya Rombach. They document their winery visits on a Facebook page called Mo Wine Couple, or Missouri Wine Couple. The effort began after the couple was given a grapevine to plant. From grapevine to social media, they just kept growing. The visits multiplied. The couple needed a way to keep track of their experiences. They created that Facebook page and it grew. The longer they've been doing it, the more exciting she said it had been. Well, the couple set a goal to visit every winery in Missouri, more than 130 in total. That's a lot of wine drinking. The final stretch proved to be the hardest. The last 10, they said, took the longest, like 2 years. In October of last year, they completed their mission. To mark the achievement, they created a Golden Cork Award presented to their favorite wineries. The award is on display at Noble Ice Vineyard. I love that family. I did a feature on them back when I was at Channel 5. This couple, by the way, have been featured in 2 magazines, their Facebook page continuing to grow. They say California wines tend to draw more attention, in part because of marketing, of course, and a lack of awareness about what Missouri produces. That education is the driving purpose behind the Mo Wine Couple. So I love what they're doing, and I love the fact that they're putting Missouri on the map for those that still don't know about the great wine that we have and that stretch on 94 out in St. Genevieve. They do a wonderful job, and it just continues to grow. I've seen some really good ones in Jefferson County, southern Jefferson County as well. So way to go, guys. I love it. Okay, what else do we want to tell you about? Well, let's look at the Cardinals, by the way. The Cardinals, hey, Tess, there's Tessa for those of you that were asking. The Cardinals, by the way, they beat the Phillies. 7-1 was the final yesterday. Love that they pulled that out. So what is on tap for their schedule tomorrow? The Cards and the Cubs have a game at 1:20, and then coming up on Sunday, as I mentioned, they're in Chicago. That game also will be at 1:20 in the afternoon. Tessa, shush. Today's National Prosecco Day, by the way, if you want to continue wetting your whistle. It is, maybe you can put these two together. I normally would put a red wine with a filet mignon, but it's National Filet Mignon Day. If you're thinking, oh, that sounds good, I don't want to figure out what I'm planning for dinner, National Filet Mignon Day with a little Prosecco maybe beforehand. That's what we have for today. Ongoing national weeks, National Hobo Week, and it's ongoing months. National Dog Month, back to school. Tell me that. Are your kids back to school just yet? It is National Wellness Month, which is also one of my favorites. And then today, for all my left-handers, International Left-Handers Day. I'm not, even though people wonder if I am, because I wear my watch on my right hand. To me, it just makes sense. If I'm writing, I just want to go like that. I don't want to write and go like this. It just seems weird to me. So I just like to do it all together. That's why, if you've ever wondered, some people have said, oh my gosh, I thought you were left-handed. Nope. International Left-Handers Day. It's a global observance. And I know my dear friend Michelle, who is taking her son to college. Let's just say it's the first time they will be an empty nester. And I'm sure there's going to be some tears that will be flowing from her and her husband's eyes today. She probably is going to be excited when I say this next part of what today is, because many years ago, she gave me a gift that I still need to use. It is World Calligraphy Day. So today, I am going to go up into my office and I'm going to open that book and I'm going to start. That, keep me to this, by the way, that and playing my piano, all things I said today is going to empower. That's my word of the day. But it's empowering me, it's empowering you, and it's empowering us to organize and set our ideas of how we keep ourselves on track with dreams that we have and things that we want to do. So, calligraphy, playing the piano on tap for me today. All right, what do you all say? Good morning, Karen. So much for today. Lynn, happy National Left-Handers Day. Oh, see, Lynn already knew. Same for me on the watch. Oh, that's funny. Left-handers, are you all left-handers? Tell me, how many? Because it's usually more of a rarity that people are left-handers. Let's see, who is over here? F. Becky 149 just started following us on Instagram. Thank you so much. Dog Friendly, Lori Cakes, Lana, Lisa, all watching us over on Instagram. We have multiple platforms, if you don't know. Facebook is our largest audience. We have also LinkedIn, YouTube, which is where the big library of shows are. Twitch, we added about a year or so ago, X, Rumble, and Instagram. So find the platform that works for you. We might sprinkle in some other things throughout the hour of news you can use. Start with a little bit, do our spotlight, and then we'll come back together as well. Today, as I mentioned, this is your outdoorsy Monica, right? You think of, you had little dolls you dressed up and they had certain themes. Today it's dress up outdoor Monica. We are featuring Coffman Outdoors. It's going to be fun as we go from summer to fall, and then you think of fall to winter. When you look out at the yard, you've got so much that you have to clean up. Right now, lawnmowers still big. Tractors are making that turn to come in and say, all right, it's almost our turn. The e-bikes, people are having a blast, as well as the Arctic cats as we transition and we get ready to head into winter. But the e-bikes, for those that want to get out and pedal and then take a break, you just flip on the e-bike, let it do its work, and have its power. I was talking to Chuck yesterday. He's like, yeah, you got to come out to the Katy Trail. So we've discussed doing just that. And I think I'm going to take him up on it, because I used to tease everybody that had those e-bikes and not anymore. So they have them for recreational. And then for our hunters, they're getting ready for maybe fall hunting season. Think about maybe an e-bike instead of those side-by-sides. What else do we have? Kristen says, I am right-handed but play sports left-handed, so you're ambidextrous. Julie, my mom is a lefty. Yeah, who are my lefties out there? Let's give a shout out to you. Also, shout out to, did you see yesterday Claire Flanagan? She did such a great job. We've never had her on the show before. Claire is with Exist Stretch, and doesn't that look like something you need to do? The answer is yes. If you are not flexible, you're hurting, you're in pain, you feel tightness in your hips, in your low back, you have sciatica, you have issues that just keep repeating and repeating and repeating, let's change that. Get in there. And I have been shining the spotlight, as you know, on our dear friend Trisha Rhodes for many months now. Trisha is amazing, but now so is Claire. I had never had a chance to have her on the show before. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it and give her a shout out. Claire Flanagan, you did such a great job. And for all of you that have not seen or been in to Stretch yet, please get in there. Support, as I always mention, support those that support us. If you have not been in, Exist Stretch is located in the St. Louis Hills area and in South County, Jefferson County. So it's 5605 Hampton Avenue, or in Arnold, located on Vogel Road. At Exist Stretch on social media, existstretch.com. Your first stretch is absolutely free, and you know they take care of our friends that are first responders with their hero package pricing. If you haven't heard, you can get in, get your stretch free the first time. Then they have a package right now, 5 for $230. Don't skip out on that. Also, for those that go from that and you want to continue feeling amazing, go to our friends over at Spas and More. Maybe it's a hot tub, maybe it's a sauna, maybe it's a chili goat. What is that? The cold plunge. And a lot of you like to go from the dry sauna into the cold plunge and do what is called contrast therapy. So yeah, I didn't know if you knew. Somebody the other day said, I didn't know they had cold plunges. They sure do. They have everything there for you. So once again, Spas and More, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you for the delivery of the hot tub that truly has changed my life. Get in there. You deserve it. Spas and More is located in Sunset Hills, 12957 Gravois Road. Give them a call at 314-843-7727. They are, of course, closed on Sunday. Otherwise, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday at Spas and More STL or spasandmorestl.com. As it's hot this weekend, I also would like for you to go and visit our friends over at the Porch in Wildwood. Do some shopping. Look, they have air conditioning, right? That's one of the reasons people love to go in and go shopping. But I think when you've heard me talk about the Porch, you may have thought it was only for ideas for your home and for your office and all the beauty that you can see for that. Now I'm talking about, look at all that. They've got bed stew. They also have Kelly Took, these handbags that are absolutely gorgeous. They have jewelry. They have candles. Again, a lot of you are doing your shopping early already because the holiday is right around the corner. As we just said, transitioning from summer, getting into fall, and knowing that we are just months away from Christmas is just absolutely crazy to me. So the Porch in Wildwood, and I know that you have fallen in love with them. They have fallen in love with you. Thank you for going in and supporting them. Check them out, theporchwildwood.com, or as I mentioned, it is 16957 Manchester Road in Wildwood, Missouri. I know she's watching today, Jan Coffman with Jan Coffman Interiors. Excited to see her husband in the spotlight today. We did a really cool piece on the porch live from their location, and now we get a chance to shine the spotlight on all of you that love the outdoors. Ready? It's time to feature Coffman Outdoors. Well, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. We're going outdoors with you today. You've been hearing us talk about Coffman Outdoors, and now you get a chance to meet our friend Mark Coffman. How are you?
I'm good.
Finally,
really
we get
good.
a chance to be here. You may have seen his wife on our show a few times now, Jan Coffman, who owns the Porch in Wildwood, and we've had a chance to go there, but now we couldn't wait to come here. So look, we want to get a little background and do kind of an explainer of your passion, as we just did with Jan. You started this how many years ago?
2007.
2007,
So-
at a different location.
Yes, correct. Correct.
And where did the passion come for you to want to do this?
It was kind of out of necessity. The economy was pretty crappy at that time.
Yes, it was.
It was November 2007. I had gotten laid off at where I was working at a dealership, and out of necessity, I opened up a repair shop. My dad coincidentally had one when I was a kid growing up.
Okay.
So it was kind of familiar, and I had a lot of people encourage me to start it, and people were spending money on service. They weren't spending it on new product at the time, so it just worked.
It was in your blood, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Thanks, Dad. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
you were not too far from this location, were you?
Just west of here on the South Service Road in Sullivan.
And then you grew, and then this location opened how long ago?
We moved in here at the end of October last year.
Okay, so you're just getting ready to come up on a 1-year anniversary.
Yep.
In the time from 2007 to now, so we're almost talking about going on 20 years. What have you learned? What have you loved? What have the customers said to you?
I like to deal with people. I like dealing with my customers. I usually remember every unit that they've ever bought. I'm bad with names, but I can always remember what they bought, and that usually takes them off. You remember what I bought?
You don't know my name, but you know I'm a bad boy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I've actually witnessed that, Mark. A guy just came in and he was like, I remember that. That woman lives in this. And I was like, that's when you know you're walking in your purpose.
Yeah, I think so.
The passion of that all. So let's go back. Okay, so 2007, from necessity, it was the repair component of it. But
Yep.
then it's grown and grown and grown to what it is now. By the way, if you haven't been to Coffman Outdoors, tell them your address and website of where they can follow.
So we're here located at 141 North Service Road West, Sullivan, Missouri. And our website is coffmanoutdoors.com. It's been under reconstruction, but there's so many things getting added to it. I'm really excited about it.
I am too. And your website, by the way, was great before, but now you got many levels of things that are adding to it. So
Yep,
we're all under construction, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Our lives are under construction.
Ever
so
changing.
when you start as the repair shop, and then what was the first growth of it for you to start changing into what it's now become?
So 2017, we brought on the Bad Boy brand of mowers. And it's honestly been one of the best things we've ever done. It gives you that family-owned and operated feel of a company, just the way we were at the time. We needed something retail to bring on, and they just helped us grow. They gave us advice. They supported us. They support the brand. They're 4 hours away in Batesville, Arkansas.
Okay.
So they're very close. So making the trip to Arkansas is not a big deal.
Right.
And we just grew into that Bad Boy family.
I just love Bad Boy, don't you? I mean, when you first saw the introduction of us bringing on Coffman Outdoors, I was like, come on, you got to get a Bad Boy. And look, we've got to stop the mindset of always thinking that it's the men. You've got men and women both that love, and you've even told me, hey, women love to get out there. They're meticulous in how their yard looks as well. We just kind of escape. You're going to put me on a tractor, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing to me that all these years that we've been involved with mowers, I didn't realize that how many women love to mow.
Yeah.
It's a release. They can get away. They can put earbuds in and just mow. And they usually take over the mowing duties as long as they have a nice mower that they feel comfortable on. I mean, I've even had to take gentlemen's wives, and they didn't want to be seen driving it, test driving it. We go behind the building, and then they'd drive around. It just, they didn't want to be embarrassed, but they love it, you know?
Again, if you're just tuning in, we're at Coffman Outdoors with the owner, Mark Coffman. And so maybe you've been following along ever since the dream began back in 2007. But again, you kept growing. So you started, as you mentioned, with Bad Boy. What was the next?
So we stayed with Bad Boy and concentrated on that product. Bad Boy has been a growing company. They started adding more and more product. We've always worked on ATVs, UTVs, motorcycles. I grew up racing motorcycles, so it was, you know, it was kind of a no-brainer for me to service motorcycles and race bikes and, you know, do suspension work. I even used to teach riding to some of the local riders that were close, and
cool.
Even the little 50 guys.
Oh,
you know,
I love that.
That was the funnest, really,
Sure.
because then you get to watch them be excited and, you know, just fun to do.
You still race?
I do. Actually, I started racing again with a good friend of mine, Bill Little, and we started a project. We call it 2OG Racing, Two Old Guys Racing.
Follow them on Instagram, by the way.
Absolutely. And we've been racing all season. I competed in the state series, but I also tried to go back to Loretta's, which is a national amateur race. And they have a 50-plus class masters, and I thought it would just be awesome to be able to make it. Unfortunately, at the regional in Illinois, I went down a couple times, and it just was so rough. And I just decided to go ahead and put all my focus into the state series, which I'm doing well. I'm racing myself into shape, which is not the best of things to do.
How do you race yourself into shape?
You don't have time to do it through the week, so you go to every race and that's your workout, and it's tough. But I mean, I see progress. Last weekend we were in Kansas City, just outside Kansas City. It was 103 degrees, and we pulled the whole shop, both motos. And so now I know I'm in their heads, for sure.
Oh, I love the mental side of it all.
Oh, it's a big mental game.
How old were you when you first started racing?
I was about 8 or 9, I guess, and I had been riding for quite some time. But my dad's philosophy was he would bring the racing to us.
Okay.
So he built a 1.2 mile long motocross track in our backyard, basically. And so on any Sunday, I might have 200 people at my house to ride with.
Oh my goodness.
So it was fun. That's how we started. And then we started going other places, and then other states, and it just expanded over that.
So Dad raced also?
Well, that's a funny story that I have. He was pretty tough on me. He's pretty strict. You know, when you do something, you put your mind 100% to it.
Sure.
And I can remember being at Belleville and racing over there, and he was complaining about, you know, I wasn't doing this, I wasn't doing that. And I said, you think it's so easy.
You come out and do it.
You do it. So he didn't say nothing, grabbed my extra gear, went down, signed up, and got third. And so
that's a great story.
It proved
He's like,
to me
okay,
that,
son.
Yeah. So he.
You gotta walk the walk and talk the
Absolutely.
talk. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have two sisters. I had a younger brother who passed away many years ago when he was very young.
I'm sorry.
But both my sisters live out in California. I was born out there. My family moved back when I was 3, and so this is home.
Yeah.
This is where I grew up.
Your sisters don't race bikes, do they?
No, they really got gypped because I actually got new bikes for Christmas, and stuff like that.
Ask about Christmas.
And they, you know,
What'd they get?
They
Dolls?
got drug along to the races, you know, and but
sibling love.
yeah.
Again, folks, we are visiting with Mark Coffman at Coffman Outdoors. I wanted us to know the background of the man behind the business and the family behind the business as well. So you and Jan, I love their love story, by the way. You two met how many years ago?
Well, I lived outside of town, south of Sullivan, and when we moved from Harvester, it had started growing up at the time, and we had a lot of horses. And so basically, Dad just wanted to move further out, and so he bought an old farmhouse that didn't even have indoor plumbing. It had an outhouse, and Mom would not move until he had reconstructed the house and made things the way she wanted it. But we moved down to Sullivan, I believe it was like 1972. So this is home for me.
Yes.
But my sisters live out in California, and I go see them. It's a nice place to visit, but I don't want to live there.
Right.
You know, this is home.
But you and Jan have been together how many years?
So I lived out, like I said, I lived outside Sullivan, and there was a church down the road, down the gravel road, and I grew up in that church. But we were in second grade, I believe, and we went to Bible school, and I got a ride home with her and her sisters and her aunt's car, and I just fell in love with her.
In second grade, folks.
In second grade, and you know, of course, you go your separate ways. She would
But
have
did she
nothing.
like you in second?
She would have nothing
That's what
to
I
do
knew.
with me. Nothing to do.
She was like this guy, this kid.
Yeah, I was a show off, she said, and you know, and I just wanted her attention, you know. So I would do things like, you know, put a Tootsie Roll in her hair on the bus, or wind up a rubber band and throw it in her hair, and you know, that was the only way she would give me any attention.
Look,
So,
Mark, we are all told by our mamas, when you're just like, oh, he just constantly teases me, he likes you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, he just said it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so second grade's when you met, but you two come back together many, many, many years later.
Yeah, many years later. I was about 27, I think, and I just ran back into her, and we started talking and seeing each other, and at church volleyball, and I just knew it was right.
And you got married in what year?
92.
Yeah, and she's told the story a little bit on the show, and she gets teary-eyed, and she's like, this is my person. He just took us all in. It's just amazing. And I mean, again, I love your love story. Again, by the way, his wife, Jan, owns the porch in Wildwood, so do me a favor, support her as well. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk more in depth about what they carry here at Coffman Outdoors. Besides the bad boy mowers, we're going to talk about Exmark, the e-bikes that he actually created that are used by a lot of hunters, but now it's getting into the recreational side. There's a lot of parents out there, Mark, that they're like, I don't want my kids on those e-bikes anymore. We've got to regulate something.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you have to say about that. All right,
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. More with Mark Coffman from Coffman Outdoors when we return.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
Welcome back, visiting with Mark Coffman of Coffman Outdoors. So you hear a little bit about the background of the passion of the man, which is what I love. I love to know someone besides the business owner that people come, so maybe they didn't know all those backstories, but the passion is to deliver on so many levels for the customers. In all the years, and we're almost coming up on 20 years since you started this idea, what are you most proud of?
I think being real with my customers, and also, you know, since my dad, I grew up in a small shop setting. Everybody knew my dad. He didn't care if you had tons of money or if you didn't have any. He just would talk to you like a normal person and just treat you the same.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
love
and that's what we like to do. We like to, it should be like Norm off of Cheers. I've always said this. When Norm walked in to the bar, everybody went, Norm.
Yes.
And he knew he was recognized, and that's what we try to do here. You know, when somebody walks in, we try to greet them. Even though we're with the customer, I still want them to know that I know they're here.
Yeah, and that makes them feel special because they are seen, they're heard, they know that when they come in, they can find something that they love. And then the other part, which is a big deal, when there might be something that might go wrong on a mower years down the road or a bike or whatever, you do the service here as well.
We do. We're a full servicing dealer, and we've always done service work. That's where we started, was service.
Yeah.
You know, so before we ever had any retail. So that's the backbone of the company.
Well, and that's huge to know because, you know, it's one thing to buy something from someone, but then it's like, oh, now where do I go for the service side? Yeah. Right here, Coffman Outdoors, again, in Sullivan, Missouri. So we talked about the bad boy. All right, you go and you evolve and you bring more in. I mentioned that you designed your own e-bike. Where did that all come from?
So I hunt a lot of public ground. And I wanted to get further back in there. I've had knee surgeries, I've had back issues, but I wanted to be able to take myself in comfortably and cover a lot of ground. So I thought about an e-bike. It made sense, and people were already doing it. I looked at them, and I think I'm a good judge of quality and hardware. So everything that drew my attention and that I was interested in was $5,000 to $7,000, and you know that's a four-wheeler. You know, I mean, Jan thought I was nuts. You know, she thought, you know, we'll just get a UTV and then everybody can use it. Yeah. And that's not what I wanted to do. And so I kept persisting in researching it, and I thought I'd build my own, and it was problematic. So we reached out to a couple different factories and brands, and I reached out to one that just wanted nothing to do with a dealer network. They wanted to sell their own online, but they had great hardware and good quality. So we just kept bugging them. And Justin had made a call to the number, and we would call once or twice a month. And they got a call back and said, you know, hey, I have this number, but it's not from a Justin, it's for a Mark, and just happened to be the rep for the factory was covering the phones, and I explained to him what we wanted to do. So we took a platform that they had, and we were able to take it in the direction we wanted to do with the components, because they're all different components. They don't all make one brand doesn't make all the components. So you might have a Samsung LG battery or Tektron brakes, or, you know, so we got to put those components together the way we wanted.
Yeah, customize it.
And put our name on it.
And you started that how many years ago?
It's been 6 years ago.
And when you talk to the hunters that are going to watch this, if they did use a UTV or ATV or whatever to get in, you mentioned, hey, this is why the hunters are loving this. So for those that haven't used an e-bike to hunt, tell them how different it would be.
So it's quiet. It's minimal effort getting in. You're not bringing your scent in with you. You can cover a lot of ground. We realized early on that our demographic was going to be 40 plus. And that said, we wanted reliability and dependability. The market, everybody is big into the mid-drives. Well, a mid-drive is like a motorcycle. Everything is transferred power-wise to the rear wheel through the chain. If that chain breaks, you're done, you're walking. And you can get from your vehicle 5 to 10 miles in a heartbeat. So we wanted to be able to give dependability and not leave somebody stranded. Sure. So we actually developed an all-wheel drive. And there are other all-wheel drives on the market, but we did some testing and found the best configuration that we thought was going to be the most dependable and still put out almost the same output that a mid-drive does. But you can switch, you're not stuck. If something happens to one motor, you got another motor you can switch to. If both motors go out, you still have a bike you can pedal. So,
and I think a lot of people though, Mark, would think, okay, but how much can I actually load on there as I'm coming back out?
We pull our game out. So we've got a rear rack system and a rear hitch system. You can utilize multiple different carts with it. Anything that's got a 1-inch handle, It is a true ball, where some of them actually fit on the axle on one side. That's always problematic, because when you're turning in the woods, you're going to jackknife one side, and then you're going to fight it. So we put it in the center, a true ball, and you can lean 45 each way and still not feel like you're being pulled by a cart or the weight behind you, and you can still maneuver like you should.
What's your favorite thing to hunt?
So I love to hunt turkeys.
Turkeys.
That is the most fun.
I might tell the ones in my backyard, better be careful, Mark comes over.
That is the most fun. But we love to deer hunt too, so.
Again, we're talking about e-bikes with regards to hunters, but a lot from a recreational standpoint. Are you seeing more of that in your business?
We are. There's, hunting's probably 2% of the market, The rest is recreational riding. And so my son Justin we kept having people ask us about a step through, so they could step through and not have to swing a leg over. And so Justin worked with the factory and developed a new step through design, which is that one right there. And we've made it in an all-wheel drive format. So it still has that kind of power output that you would want. It's considered a class 3, but you can disconnect the throttle, the independent throttle. You still have your pedal assist. You can set it at no more than 20 miles an hour. So you can kind of break it down to a class 1 bike and ride it just about anywhere you want.
Again, we're talking e-bikes. There's so much we're going to discuss with Mark in a series over the coming weeks, months, etc. So e-bikes, we talked about the mowers. We're kind of getting out of that season. A lot of people are going to go, okay, now I got to start getting on the tractor.
Yeah, we brought on tractors last fall. Bad Boy had moved into the tractor market about 3 years ago. And they just absolutely make a wonderful product. It's solid. It's their own their patented arms. Lift arms are theirs. Their implements are made by them. It's just been a good product offering to bring on, along with all the other products that they're wanting to bring on as well.
Well, and again, they've got a lot here. We're just scratching the surface. We didn't talk about the Arctic Cats either. Tell me a little bit about those, but also after that, would you say, if you look at your business, is the biggest thing people come in for?
Well, right now we're known as a mower dealer, for sure. We've just been into it for so long. We do a high volume of mowers. And we have a huge family here, but that's kind of what we're known for more than anything, I think.
But now people are knowing about e-bikes. They're knowing that you've got the UTVs, the ATVs. So tell me, what is the big draw with the Arctic Cats?
So Arctic Cat was a very strong brand several years back. They went into Bass Pro, and I feel like that was a problem for them because it left their dealer network not being able to make the normal monies that they used to make on the product.
Right.
And so now it's been rebought back by one of the original owners and the Argo Group, and they've partnered together to bring back their ideas to bring back the brand to what it was. And I look for some really exciting things to come from that. It's a good, solid product.
And again, we're talking about a lot of the toys, right? We always say that boys love their big toys. It's all here. And again, if you have not been, we want you to come. Tell them again where you're located.
141 North Service Road, West Sullivan, Missouri.
And then check out the website, follow them on social media. We're going to start doing some really cool things on YouTube together. But it's also all the other things that you need to make sure that your outdoors look great. And we say it's men, women, kids alike, get the whole family involved. So as we are switching season, what are you seeing at the wrap up of summer? And do you have any specials or anything as we go from one season to another?
This is the time to purchase a new mower. It's the mowing season is waning down. This year we've had an incredible amount of rain, so it's kept the grass growing. People have been mowing twice a week. And out here, we definitely see 3 to 5 acre, homes, and that's a lot of upkeep,
Yes,
know. But right now is the best time to come in and buy a mower. It's the only time you're really going to see any kind of price breaks.
Well, and again, it's also something when you think, oh, I'm trying to buy something cool for my husband or for my wife, they've got everything. Oh no, maybe they want this. Because yes, although you're in your mind thinking you're buying something for them to do work, they enjoy it. As Mark said earlier, it is just for you to get out there, break from your day-to-day grind and go out and beautify your space. And we've seen more and more, by the way, ever since the pandemic. So we look at the last 6 years where people are wanting to stay home more. They're wanting to continue to build that oasis in their yard and be proud of it. And then you use all of this to be proud of as well.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. So again, Mark Coffman from Coffman Outdoors. We want you to come in, support those that support us. He and his wife have become our title sponsors, and we're doing some exciting things. What do you think about Jan, by the way, and her porch talk? We're having fun with those.
Yeah, she likes doing it. She's very good at what she does.
Yes, she is.
She really is.
She's an incredible interior designer, by the way. So if you want to beautify your space for your home, your office, I want you to reach out to Jan. What's your favorite thing at the porch?
I would have to say, whenever I go there, I get greeted by the staff and my wife with a smile and, hey, how you doing? You know.
It's the same thing of everybody knows your name.
But I'm the maintenance guy too.
Oh, you're the maintenance guy. Yeah. We heard the guys barking in the background, by the way. You want to talk about your dogs?
So I have 2 labs. One is a chocolate lab, and that's actually one of the pups from my son's dog, Maury, who I fell in love with, and I would be working on bikes on the ground or 4-wheelers or whatever, and she would just come lay on me, you know, and so I wanted one of her pups. And so I got one. And then Agnes was supposed to be a Stella, but when I got her home 2 hours after I got her home, I knew she was not a Stella. She was an Agnes.
Why?
So she just has that personality. She's a silver lab.
Yes.
And she's just got a unique personality all her own. And so Aggie and Maggie, they come to work with me every day. They go everywhere I go. I haven't been taking them to the races because it's a little hot.
Yeah.
But they are my sidekicks for sure.
Aggie and Maggie. Jan, you mentioned Justin. You have other kids as well, though.
Oh yeah, Justin's twin, Austin, and the oldest is Damon.
We're going to get to know all of them, by the way. Are they camera shy, or are they going to be good in front of the camera?
You know,
in the future?
Justin used to be camera shy until I forced him to talk to people in sales, and now he's just absolutely. They know he's genuine, and it's hard to get him away from customers.
We're going to make him a YouTube star. All right, folks, one more time. We're changing seasons. We're getting out of summer, going into fall. You think of all the things that you need as the season changes. You know, as we get into fall, then into winter, what are the biggest movers when you get into winter?
So I would say, you know, we start picking up. Last year, we really got a lot of interest in the tractors, and we're going to be, you know, learning more about that market and you know, when the high selling times are, the high usage times are. But we also brought on beta motorcycles in order to help us support this racing effort that we've been doing. So, you know, we're looking to see some more. I've got a demo ride coming up August 15th, and there's 8 different motorcycles, and it doesn't cost anything. If you're interested in coming, just give us a call here at the shop. It's 573-468-8473, and we'll get you registered, get you signed up. You have to be 18 years or older, and then you also have to have a helmet and boots.
I love that you have that. So, please, safety first. 573-468-8473. 573-468-8473. Again, August 15th. Absolutely free, 2026 beta models with 20G on their private track. I think that's pretty cool, so take advantage of that. Mark, thank you. We've got so much that we'll be talking about in the future, but this is just a little overview of what they have here for you, again, at Coffman Outdoors in Sullivan, Missouri. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Monica Adams Show, and do us a favor, support those that support us. Now you know all about Coffman Outdoors. Thank you so much, Mark, for letting us come there. Again, check out my reel from last night. We have some more fun ones. They put me inside one of the Arctic cats, and Zach was actually in the back seat. He trusted me driving one. It's the first time I've ever driven. I've never been in a side-by-side UTV, ATV where I've been driving. I've been in them before where the people driving absolutely freak me out. They go way too fast. He was saying that some of those go like over 60 miles per hour, which is nuts. And I know a lot of communities communities that are golf cart communities, well, now they're becoming these side-by-side communities, the UTVs that are being used alike. But what'd you think of the e-bike, by the way? Have you been in one? Been on one? Drop me a comment and let me know if you have. We, again, would love to come to your business, and we call those mobile Monicas, that on location, live, or really cool recorded business spotlight that we can do for you. So shoot me a message. Let me know if it's you or you know a business that you think would be really good. I had a meeting a couple of days ago for a community, and I can't say which one yet because we got to narrow this down, a community that is wanting us to come in the middle of November, and I told them that is right around the time that we will be celebrating our 1,000 show, and that entire community is going to be in that time frame. So is it an area that you want us to come to? Where do you want us to celebrate 1,000 shows? I've been asking you that as well. So feel free to drop in ideas as we make that decision by the end of this month, because again, we got a lot of work to do before we get into November. Shout out, by the way, to one of our newest sponsors, and that is R.A. Ginner. So when it comes to plumbing work, and you all of a sudden go, oh, I heard Monica talking about a company that's been around for over 100 years. Yeah, quality connections they've been making since 1925, and they are such a wonderful, really beautiful family, the Ginner family. Commercial fixture replacements and repairs, maybe water heater replacements. They can work with remodeling contractors for the plumbing portion of your jobs. In fact, I was filming some of the work they were doing at Adventure Unknown yesterday. You'll see some of that. Remodeling older homes where the plumbing can be complicated. They can do that for you. And if you need a little creative thinking with that, maybe some specialty fixtures that you need, or the water won't shut off to the fixtures. You name it, they'll take care of you. They're located at 7244 Gravois Avenue, GinnerPlumbing.com, 314-752-9850. You know, they know what they're doing, and they have been doing great work for over 100 years. Okay, before we wrap up, I told you we had some more news you can use. I just wanted to break it up a little bit. And I'm leaving this where I just dropped the mic here. I cannot believe, and we're not talking about a handful of people. We're not talking about everybody going in together. We're talking about one ticket, folks. Did you see? Powerball's $1 billion jackpot was won by a single ticket in Illinois. It was bought in Illinois. What the heck? With 5 further tickets getting the match 5 cash prize. What would you do? I always ask that question. What would you do with $1 billion? The 8th largest Powerball jackpot in history won last night. The winning balls, by the way, so if you have your ticket and you haven't seen, the winning balls were 4, 26, 66, 67, 69, and the red Powerball was 9. The Powerball multiplier was 2. The final ticket sales pushed that jackpot to $1.04 billion, making it the largest Powerball prize won this year. And 3 tickets sold in Arizona, Florida, and North Carolina matched all 5 white balls to win that match 5 cash prize. So they get $1 million. A ticket in California also won that prize. Final payouts in the state, it means that all wagers are pooled together. So it's pari mutuel and determined by ticket sales and the number of winners. A 5th ticket sold in Massachusetts also matched all 5 white balls. Its winnings increased to $2 million because it included the power play option. So again, do they have to remain anonymous? They can. It depends on the state, I think, is how they break things down. What the heck would you do with $1 billion, folks? I would, as I mentioned, I would travel and I would give a lot to charity. But that was the big story, and I just wanted to save that one so we could talk a little bit here. Because a lot of the stuff we do at the very beginning of the show, and then for all our people that sign on around 7:30, 7:45 and miss a lot of things, I want to make sure that you get some of the lump of the news as well. The other is a water safety report, and this is very concerning. It is finding unsafe bacteria levels at the majority of Missouri swim sites. And I've gotten more and more scared to take the dogs because they used to like to go down to Mastodon State Park, and then we used to take Tessa where she doesn't like to jump in the lakes or pools, but she likes, if her feet are touching the ground, to play around, and she gets so hilarious playing around with the rocks. Jim doesn't want me to do that anymore because he's worried about what's in that water. An environmental study be testing 202 sites in Missouri. Illinois wasn't included in this, by the way, but 17 states were tested. Unsafe levels of bacteria, Illinois not tested in this. Aging sewer systems in Missouri, one of the causes, and your health could be at risk. One of the ways to protect the water quality is by investing in modern water infrastructure to prevent spills and leaks. Data shows many of the rivers and the lakes are being polluted by aging sewage systems that leak when it rains. Some of the biggest sources of contamination come from stormwater runoff and sewage overflows as well. So let me ask that question to all of you. If you want to interact with us, does that mean that you'll change? Like going out right now, we're still in the heat of summer. Do you still want to go out to the Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock Lake? You go maybe into the Mississippi River and playing around in the water? Does that scare you? Does that alter the kind of plans that you have? All right, for those that went to Vegas and they wanted to go see this guy, unfortunately, Rod Stewart had to cancel his remaining tour dates after undergoing heart surgery. He canceled his Tuesday night performance at Rocket Arena in Cleveland shortly after postponing his Sunday concert in Cincinnati. The latter venue said at the time that it was due to an unforeseen but minor medical procedure that required prompt attention. He also canceled a few dates earlier this year, including 2 in Las Vegas and 1 in San Diego. Sir Rod Stewart will be unable to continue his one last time farewell tour following a coronary stent procedure. Representative for the singer confirmed he postponed and canceled those performances. So unfortunate, right? Because everybody was trying to see that one last time. All right, if you see the Cardinals on the road and you're wondering what ball cap to wear, grab your Navy one because they're bringing back the Navy caps on the road. The Cardinals X page yesterday say the best fans in baseball have spoken. Starting this weekend, they will be returning to Navy caps as their primary road cap. So if by chance you're going to Chicago, and that is always a big rivalry, a lot of people like to take that trip to Chicago. You want to see the Cards and the Cubbies play, and you want to represent the Cards properly, wear your Navy cap. All right, Stephanie said, I had the Powerball number. Well, congrats. I can't imagine that much money. I know, right? R.A. Ginner did a fantastic job on our bathroom. Oh, Kathleen, I love it. Very kind, respectful, highly knowledgeable, highly recommend them. How cool is that? Kathleen, I love the fact that you already have a tie to one of our many sponsors, and that is one of the newest. We just brought on R.A. Ginner. We also just brought on Dr. James Clarkson. Really incredible interview we did a couple of weeks ago with Heritage Hand Surgery and the way it's called Wallant. It's wide awake, local anesthesia, no tourniquet. That's what Wallant stands for. Julie said, I go to the lake, but do not get into the lake. Yuck. See, that's so unfortunate. I mean, I would always jump in and go water skiing and go wakeboarding and just swim around, throw out the little, floaters and just hang in the water. But more and more, and I'm talking about Lake St. Louis. I mean, I think back when my mom first moved into Lake St. Louis area and just how pristine and beautiful the water looked. And now the way it looks, yeah, go ahead and weigh in. And for all of you that are all the lake lovers, right? The river rats, a lot of people call themselves. Does this kind of news change that for you? Let me know. It can be a little scary. It's not to be an alarmist or anything like that. But yeah, it's just something to think about. All right, time for our devotional. And then I'll let you know who our Foodie Friday is. It's a really good one, by the way. We have on tap, and it's an event that I'm hoping that you get a chance to go to that is coming up, by the way, next month. Okay, August 13th already. Jesus Calling. That's what we're reading from today. Learn to enjoy life more. Oh, that's a good one. Relax, remembering that I am God with you. I crafted you with enormous capacity to know me and enjoy my presence. When my people wear sour faces, walk through their lives with resigned rigidity, I am displeased. When you walk through a day with childlike delight, savoring every blessing, you proclaim your trust in me, your ever-present shepherd. The more you focus on my presence with you, the more fully you can enjoy life. Glorify me through your pleasure in me. Thus you proclaim my presence to the watching world. Really good one. Love these books, right? It's a simple devotional to really get you focused on your purpose in life, your positivity. So as I mentioned, if you haven't done your intentional word yet, pick that and try to get it to continue to reset you. If you're feeling a little lost throughout the day, remember that word and it'll put you right back on track. All right, tomorrow it is the Foodies Eat First Festival. Braden, as well as Chef Bailey, and then Jerry Stampson from Salmon 80 Sweets, from Bailey Bailey and Company, and then big influencer from a food standpoint in St. Louis. They are our Foodie Friday. It's going to be amazing. We're going to tell you about all the lineup that's coming up for you next weekend, the 22nd and 23rd. It's going to be a blast. And then we get into Monday, where we have our Menopause Monday. That's going to be a really amazing one. And we've got a guy that reached out to me. In fact, it's a tie to someone that was on our show before. He works at the BMW dealership here in town in St. Louis, and his overcoming life is going to be amazing. So can't wait to feature this gentleman on Tuesday. It is one of those where the life gives up on you, everybody else gives up on you, you don't give up on yourself. You keep going, because that's what we ask for you to do. Believe in yourself, folks. You, every single one of you, I'm looking at you right now. You can be anything you want to be in life, but the greatest be is kind. Be kind, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you for a Foodie Friday tomorrow morning.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Coffman Outdoors and The Porch in Wildwood.